Greetings everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I got this image right here by combining strobes with film. The purpose of this shoot was to get practice using strobes with my RZ67. When using an RZ67, you have certain challenges ahead of you. For one, you don't have high speed sync, and two, your maximum shutter speed is 400th of a second. So even 400th of a second isn't enough to cut out ambient light if you're not in shaded area. So one of the things you can do is either use an ND filter, but with this camera, since it's manual focus, you'll have a hard time, trying to focus, trying to get everything done. Or you could just seek out shade like I have in this picture. I also want to practice because I want to get used to using strobes in my workflow, whether it's with inanimate objects like this motorcycle or portraits. I really want to do portraits because it helps the image stand out, gives it that extra pop, the contrast or whatnot. I want to be able to show up to a photo shoot, pull out my light meter, take a reading, make some adjustments, and shoot. Quick, simple, and easy. And you can only do that practice. Since we don't have a digital LCD on the back of the camera, you kind of have to know what to expect when you go out there and shoot film with strobes. So let's take a look at this image right here. This is a photo I took with my phone of the setup. I have my RZ67, I have my strobe from Policy Buff, it's the Einstein model, and it's triggered by the Cyber Commander. Right now, it's about 8 o'clock. The sun is setting. As you can see, the golden light on the trees in the back. The sun is to the camera right, and the shade that I'm in is provided by trees and a house on camera right also. So I waited till 8 o'clock to shoot because lately we haven't had any clouds. It's been a cloudless week, no clouds at all, no cover. So it's been straight harsh sunlight, and those limitations of the RZ doesn't give me the ability to cancel out some of the ambient light with higher shutter speed and high speed sync. So I waited till the sun go down so I can shoot in the shade right here. So this is my front driveway, gravel driveway, right in front of my house. And my setup, the light is about 6 to 5 feet away from the motorcycle. I have a beauty dish and a white cloth over the beauty dish to soften up the light a bit. For the settings, I have the camera at 1/25th of a second, and I'm using the 110mm lens, and I'm shooting Ilford FP4 rated at 200. I decided to rate the film at 200 because of the fall in light. I didn't want the shutter speed to be too slow, even though I'm on a tripod, and that's because I have to push the button slowly, and I didn't want to induce any vibration because I don't have the trigger, the long trigger that plugs into the lens that allowed me not to touch the camera. So to get the light reading, what I did was I used my Sekonic light meter, and it gave me a reading of ISO 200. That's what I set the meter as for the film, and it said to shoot at f4 5.6, somewhere between there, and with a shutter speed of 60th of a second. So to get the light and to visualize what I wanted, I kind of increased the shutter speed to 125 just so I can get a little darker background. And I took the light reading with the Cyber Commander because it has a light meter built into it, and it gave me the same reading as Sekonic. So I just boosted the light maybe a couple clicks, half a stop above the reading that I got for the ambient light. So just to take measures just in case, to give me an extra leeway with the lighting so the image stands out, the motorcycle stands out from the background. And I also wanted to make sure light get to the shaded areas inside the engine, underneath it, the cooling fins and all that, the tires and everything. And I also wanted the shadow underneath the bike, and from the tires, kickstand, and everything to show up. So that's my setup for the shoot, and that's what I did. As you see in the image, it was an easy shoot, not too complicated. And as we go back to the image, you know, it looks nice. I like it. It's very detailed. You got the gravel on the ground lit up next to the tires on the left side, bottom left corner, and that's from the light illuminating the gravel. I took a shot without the light before, and everything was completely dark. You couldn't really see any detail in the rocks or anything, and you can see the detail in the cooling fins and everything. So I like it. The only thing I didn't like about this image was the background. The background is busy, but it wasn't a shoot for a magazine or anything. It was just a test shoot to see how the lighting setup would work, and it worked quite well. And I put it on, online on Reddit, and I put it on some forums, and people like it also. It's just the only thing that they all agreed on was that the background was a little busy and kind of seemed out of place. So next time I do a shoot, I'm gonna make sure I find a nice clean background so I can, have a better looking image. Other than that, I mean, that's basically it. It's an easy setup. I like it. I like how everything turned out. You can see the reflection right above the Honda logo next to the A. You got the catch light from the strobe. You got the shadows on the gas tank from the house and trees behind me. And you got the detail below it. The shadow, the tire, kickstand, everything. So this RZ67 produced a good negative. You got a lot of detail in it. There's not really too much complete blacks in the image. So, and when I scanned it, I didn't really make any adjustments in Lightroom or Photoshop. The only adjustment I made in Lightroom was I boosted the clarity by +5. That was it. I pulled it into Lightroom. I converted it to the color space needed to be viewed online, so you can get the blacks and whites and grays that I see in Photoshop for everyone else to see. So I converted it to the sRGB, and I upped the sharpness by 0.4 using a layer, whatever it's called. I use sharpness to bring out a little bit more detail, and that was it. I didn't touch anything. I didn't adjust the whites. I didn't adjust the blacks. Nothing. So basically what you're seeing right now is what came from the camera, minus the clarity adjustment and the sharpness. So overall, I'm happy with the photo. I definitely want to try it again with a model next time, maybe, and see how it goes. So if you like the image, if you like the channel, you subscribe and try to get some more videos out. It would be nice if I had an assistant to actually record me do these photo shoots. That would be way more fun than having me do the commentary on how I shot these photos. That's a future goal I can work towards. So thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoy it.